Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam. People often complain that the government doesn't do much. There are all these problems: potholes across the city, pollution, snow not being plowed on time, roads not being repaired, and so on and so forth. So people ask the question, what is the government doing about this? What is the government doing about that? What is the government doing to fix all these problems? And so there are a lot of complaints about government not doing enough. But then there are certain things that the government likes to do. For example, the government likes to raise taxes and fees. That is correct. The government works very hard to come up with new ways to increase taxes and fees on the American people, and we see this in Democrat-run cities and states. Because raising taxes and raising fees are very popular among Democrat politicians. It always seems to be a priority for the Democrats to come up with new ways to take more money out of the pockets of hardworking Americans. Just look at Democrat-run cities and states. There's high income tax, there's high property tax, there's high sales tax, and also a lot of different fees. And so when you think that the government doesn't do much, well, in Democrat-run cities and states, there's one thing that the government does, that is raise taxes and fees. Now, there's one city in particular that I want to talk about today. The whole world knows that city. You know what I'm talking about. I am talking about New York City. Many people are unhappy about this new thing in New York City called congestion pricing. There's a congestion pricing toll program. New York City is the first American city with congestion pricing. And congestion pricing in New York City began on January 5th of 2025. So in short, it's a new way for the government to take more money out of the pockets of hardworking American people in this country. It's a very unpopular plan. Unpopular. People don't like this. Very, very unpopular. And yet, this congestion pricing toll program went into effect in this Democrat-run state, New York, in this Democrat-run city, New York, because obviously it creates a new source of revenue. It's basically a toll program, and passenger vehicles, whether you're talking about sedans or SUVs or pickup trucks or small vans, passenger vehicles and motorcycles and trucks and buses all have to pay toll under this program. And if you want to find out more, then you can go to New York City government's website and find out about how much tolls will be charged during peak period and how much on weekends, etc. There are all kinds of information. It's pretty detailed, and it is quite complicated. And so New York implemented this congestion pricing toll program, and people are not happy. People are not happy about this. Why should Americans be happy about this? There's no reason to be happy about this congestion pricing toll program. I mean, who wants to pay more? Who wants to pay more taxes and fees, especially in a place like New York City where everything costs more already? And now there's congestion pricing and more toll. It's hard to afford housing in New York City. And now on top of everything else, this program just made driving more expensive through this new toll program. But thank God, we have President Donald J. Trump in office. And his administration has taken steps to block New York's congestion toll program. That is correct. The U.S. Department of Transportation has taken steps to terminate tolling approval for New York's congestion pricing program. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said, and I'm going to read his quote, "New York State's congestion pricing plan is a slap in the face to working class Americans and small business owners. Commuters using the highway system to enter New York City have already financed the construction and improvement of these highways through the payment of gas taxes and other taxes. But now the toll program leaves drivers without any free highway alternative and instead takes more money from working people to pay for a transit system and not highways. It's backwards and unfair." That is correct. We agree with what Secretary Sean Duffy said. Absolutely correct. And let me read to you the next part. Okay, so this is Secretary Duffy saying, "The program also hurts small businesses in New York that rely on customers from New Jersey and Connecticut. Finally, it impedes the flow of commerce into New York by increasing costs for trucks, which in turn could make goods more expensive for consumer. Every American should be able to access New York City regardless of their economic means. It shouldn't be reserved for an elite few." Pay attention. Secretary Duffy is saying it shouldn't be reserved for an elite few. And this congestion pricing plan, it really is, I agree with Secretary Duffy, it really is a slap in the face to working class Americans and small business owners. This is unfair. And I am so happy to see the U.S. Department of Transportation taking steps to terminate tolling approval for this congestion pricing program. What Secretary Duffy said is the truth. It is absolutely correct. And a sigh of relief, finally, we have an administration in power that is going to do the right thing. The Trump administration prioritizes hardworking men and women of this country. I'm sure that Democrats are going to be very unhappy about this action by the Trump administration. The Democrats love congestion pricing plan. Democrat politicians, they love this, but the Trump administration has taken steps to terminate tolling approval for New York City's congestion pricing program. This is one more example of President Trump and his administration making America great again. Congestion pricing in New York City, it is an extremely bad policy, and it must stop. And I'm happy that the U.S. Department of Transportation is taking the right action. My friends, I want to hear from you. If you are a resident of New York City, you can share with me your thoughts. Well, even if you live outside of New York, share with me your thoughts, my friends. Are you in agreement with the Trump administration? Do you agree with the Trump administration's decision to terminate tolling approval for this congestion pricing program? Share with me your thoughts. Share with me your thoughts. Go to my website, tausifanam.net. You can send me a message through my website. You can also email me. My email address is tausif@tausifanam.net. You can find me on Facebook, on Instagram, on X, and also on Truth Social. So connect with me on social media. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Share with me your viewpoints. And once again, my friends, thank you so very much for continuing to listen to my podcast. And I hope to be back again soon with a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam.